What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 32 of my Total Warhammer 3 Ikit Claw Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Mutant had himself a very nice battle against Vlad and Isabella, destroying their army outside Wurtbed, though taking quite the mauling in the process. I suppose we left on a little bit of a cliffhanger in the sense that we don't know whether Mutant will survive or not, and I guess we'll have to find out. He is going to suffer additional attrition, and he may get attacked by a hidden army that we currently can't see as well. I'm a little bit tempted to put him into march stance and try to move him away to Kemperbad. It'll put us further from the enemy, if nothing else. Well, I doubt that there's an army here. Only if there's one in ambush, because we can't reach Needling from where we're going, and we can't reach Krugenheim, so these places that are hidden we can't reach. Alright, you know what, let's take the risk, let's just put ourselves a little bit further away in march stance, and hope we don't get wrecked. Oh, that seems to have increased the attrition slightly, but I don't think anyone will die. Yeah, a little bit of HP remaining. And then he can go into Kemperbad and hide, because Ikit's coming. And hopefully Ikit can reach... Ikit can basically reach Kemperbad as well, so... Okay, Mutant, it's all you, buddy. You deserve to survive after all that, though I think we need at least one more level on you, right? Or wait, you're at level 14. We have Draft Master, we have Construction Engineer. Actually, no, if we want, we are ready to replace him with our other Lord. As in with an Assassin Lord for the Yeshon army. Okay, well, we'll be dealing with that. Even though the Assassin Lord will be a low level, I feel like an Assassin has to lead the Assassins. It's only right. Anyway, in terms of what we have left to do this turn, I don't believe there's much. Bell Farmers, we can... Actually, we already have moved. Same with you. Let's double check if there's any good Pack Masters or Warlock Engineers, which we have already summoned. So that's going to be something of a no. No extra sorcerers. We're in fact out of 6 out of 5 because we did the Pestilent scheme. And I do believe, presuming that there's no buildings to build as we built them all last episode, we're ready to go next turn. Which means that it's very highly likely that VOLKMAR the Grim with his Hellstorm rocket batteries and his War Altar of Sigmar is going to attack Corporal. This may be a fairly difficult fight. In fact, maybe we should apply some of our workshop stuff. We're at 48% in food, so we can drop nearly to 40. Though, I mean, I guess we could build a nuke. We could also just buff up the Death Globes a little bit. The Warplug Jezzails are maxed out. Yeah, you know what? I feel like we can go without the nuke. I'd rather try to not rely on it for a single army here. So, in that light, let's go weapons teams. Let's go Globadiers and Bombardiers, and we will get... I guess we could get all 3. And we could get the... Well, definitely get the bonus versus large ammo. Yeah, Warp Razors. Then Abomination's Kiss, rather, another 15% missile strength, yeah. I mean, it's about time we get all these. We use a lot of Globadiers and Bombardiers, so... Yeah, it's appropriate. And then last, the Mist of Morskrit. Now, this is a little bit less useful, mostly because these guys are not supposed to be in melee anyway. Although that said, if they get charged by something, at least they'll have a bit of a way to fight back. That said, 7 food's a little bit steep. What are we at here? We're at 47%. Okay, we're still good. We can definitely invest the 7 food. Alright, fine. Warlock's Poultice. We're supposed to oh, damn it, I clicked the wrong thing. I saw the 7 food, and, well, I guess we're getting Mist of Morskrit as well, but... Oh, man, my bad. Fortunately, we had the extra food, and we were gonna get that thing anyway, but damn. Alright. And then we still have a decent amount of warp fuel to spend if we want to build a nuke or something, but once again, for a single army, I'm not super concerned. Now, you don't need any levels, and we did your items last time. And I guess we'll keep them as they are. Yeah, alright. They're probably as good as they're gonna get for now. Let us then end the turn and see what we see. Damage building, outpost upgrade available. That's the ogres again, and I'm sick of the masking for that. Let's go. Alright, VOLKMAR. I'm absolutely certain he's going to attack. Okay, I'm 98% certain he's going to attack, because why wouldn't he? And the AI considers our armies fairly weak, because they're Skaven armies, I guess. Throt, what you want, buddy? You want a military alliance? How about you confederate with us instead? Actually, 41 isn't as bad as it was before. Alright, well, keep an eye on that. If he loses another settlement in all his armies, we might get that confederation going. And there it is. It looks like he attacks with an extra full stack. Oh my, okay. I've made a terrible mistake. I should have gotten a nuke for this. But it's too late to do anything about it now, and we're gonna have to deal with it. He's got 4 cannons, 2 mortars. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. Okay, now... Oh, and we have no magic either. Okay, wait. We do have reinforcements of our own by the looks of it, which are garrison reinforcements, but they're gonna be trash. 45 leadership, and honestly, these 2 Hellstorms would be able to damage them severely. So the question here is going to be how we handle this. Do we attack VOLKMAR immediately and try to damage or otherwise destroy his army before the reinforcements arrive on the field? Most likely he'll be deployed near to the reinforcements. Unfortunately, we don't have any Vanguard deployments, so that's going to be an issue as well. In terms of bonus damage, let's give it to one of the giants. Let's say the one with the most HP. We have 6 uses of Menace Below, and I think that should be fine. Although, if we consider 1 use of Menace Below per artillery piece, we'd need 10. Yeah, this is definitely one of those situations where we could really use a couple units of wolf rats. Too bad they don't come in as part of a garrison. Well, it is what it is. Let's see if we can manage to pull this up. This should be a very interesting battle, if nothing else.
I agree.
Alrighty, here we go. This should be pretty darn interesting. I was not expecting a battle of anywhere near this size. Also, if we take a look at the map, the reinforcements are coming in from every single corner of the map. The enemy here, and then us here and here. But you have a reasonably decent position on top of this hill, man. If only we had Plague Claw catapults or mortars, this would be amazing here. And honestly, I'm still kind of considering maybe replacing the Warp Lightnings with Plague Claws in this army. It's just that Jezzails perform better than the Warp Lightnings at everything except that they can't knock down towers, and the Warp Lightnings aren't really all that good at killing enemy range units, which is probably the biggest problem in this army. Speaking of range units being a big problem in this army, the enemy has a lot, and I mean a lot of range units. 10 artillery pieces and an absolute ton of crossbows and archers in this main army, and a few coming in from the reinforcements. Now, we've deployed as far as we possibly can here with all of our storm vermin and our death globes, simply to try to avoid the enemy hitting us with those Hellstorm rocket batteries. Ideally, we'll want to try to kill them before they can achieve anything, which is what our Warp Lightning Cannons and our Warplock Jezzails are going to have to try to do. The Jezzails, of course, are hidden because they now have stock since we got the upgrade, so they will be able to get into position before they start firing. But otherwise, we're just going to try to stay back and take care of at least the artillery from this army. Now, the enemy has deployed down in this valley rather than across on their own side, which is kind of interesting. I would have expected them to deploy here and then just fire their artillery, but I think that what they want is to join together with this massive amount of reinforcements, which I guess will mean that they will be protecting those 6 artillery pieces, which could also be pretty interesting. We shall see. Well, anyway, it looks like the enemy Hellstorms are getting hit by our Warp Lightnings and our Jezzails here. The first of the enemy units getting kind of wrecked here before they can get off a shot, and are now in their route. We have immediately switched targets to the second Hellstorm rocket battery. Yeah, maybe these guys will come back, but we still do have the Jezzails to work on this. Ah, look at those snipers work. A dozen of those crew just lost their head. Absolutely beautiful. You gotta love these guys. And there we go, another rocket battery, artillery piece actually destroyed, and we can switch targets to the cannons and the mortars. Looks like one of the Warp Lightnings managed to land a shot on the cannons as well, and we continue our artillery quote-unquote duel, although it looks like we're doing pretty good. At least so far. Looks like the mortars are going to get their first shots off, but I think at least the main army will be artilleryless, whereas we had 10 on the field, we're only going to have to deal with 6. Plus, the cannons are not nearly as scary as the Hellstorm rocket batteries, because if we had to march our Storm Vermin down and had our rocket batteries... had their rocket batteries firing on us, it would not have been pretty. Especially as the Storm Vermin are a slower unit and are close together and a massive pile of infantry in this army in general. Now we're gonna get a few more shots into the enemy Empire Knights here. They're not super threatening, mind you, but now that the enemy artillery pieces are gone, we have to target both our both the better targets and the enemy lord, so we will be switching targets to VOLKMAR pretty much immediately. One thing I guess that the Warp Lightning cannons do seem to be okay at is targeting the enemy knights, and they seem to lead enemy units better in their attacks than the Jezzails do, because the Jezzails, as we saw, were missing shots, whereas the artillery can still land. So I suppose that's a reason to keep them, possibly, if we don't switch them out. Now, let's see about VOLKMAR. He has regeneration and he has, what, 8,000 HP? Quite a bit. 7,700 HP, and the enemy reinforcements are on the field, so here come the enemy artillery, and they are going to be pretty much immediately in range, so we'll have to be careful. That said, with the enemy rocket artillery destroyed, we are now moving our Storm Vermin to act as the main line and move in front of the enemy. In addition to that, we have our reinforcements on the field now, and we're going to move our Clan Rats first to get killed, and then with the Storm Vermin will follow them up. We've also separated a good 6 or so units to go through this area, past this cliff, and then hopefully down into attacking the enemy ranged and the enemy artillery, because even the menace below might not be enough to get rid of all of those guys. We do also have another piece of reinforcement, this other little garrison reinforcement coming in, who are going to try to prevent these extra reinforcements of enemies from attacking us, but also try to move down the valley and again to hit the enemy ranged, because, well, it's a pretty big concern. Anyway, and back to the battle. VOLKMAR'S gonna head in. We're going to summon a unit of Vermintide Clan Rats up here, and hopefully they will distract him while he continues taking damage from our Jezzails and one of the Warp Lightnings. The other Warp Lightning is going to move away as it was starting to get targeted by, as we can see, crossbows, and we don't want them all to get destroyed. When the Jezzails have also moved slightly back, although they're still taking hits, but they need to keep working on VOLKMAR. Oh damn, Fate's Bastion and Grand Shield of Fate give him an extra 40% ward save. He's up to 70% ward and an extra 15% missile resistance. Oh damn. And he's unbreakable and regenerative on top of all that. This guy. Always a toughie to bring down. Well, here come more Clan Rats to distract the enemy. The Warp Lightnings and the Jezzails will keep firing, and we don't care about the Clan Rat losses so far, though we will care about the Storm Vermin losses when the latter do move in. It looks like the enemy has got one of their artillery pieces back, and I believe it's just a single unit of it right here. Yeah, it's just 1 out of 4, and it already got, let's see, 5 kills in a single shot, so good job to them, but we immediately counter them with summoning a Menace Below on top of them, who should be able to rip them apart at least, especially as these guys are already very, very low in numbers. Good job, Clan Rats. Alrighty, now the main battle lines are more or less drawn. The enemy advances. As we can see, our regular Clan Rats from the garrison are all running away, but the Storm Vermin are here. The Council Guard is going to head directly for VOLKMAR, obviously, as they are our best unit on the field, and we're going to continue hitting him with our Jezzails and Warp Lightnings. It is, I suppose, lucky that... Damn, look at his mass! He just completely broke through that line. And a massive line at that, just doesn't care about anything. And damn. I wonder, wait, what's the... Oh, damn, I forgot what you have to hover over to find what the unit mass is. It's 3,000, huh? Actually deceptively small. I was expecting it to be more, considering he didn't have trouble breaking through essentially several units of halberdiers. Interesting. Also, he's still at 75% HP, so... yeah. that's going to be an issue. Well, here come the Giants. We were keeping them back at least a little bit in the hopes of preventing the enemy range from focusing them, although they have obviously immediately switched targets. Looks like the enemy is going to try to attack us with the Knights, even as our Council Guard and another unit of Storm Vermin continue to try to chase VOLKMAR down. By the looks of it, he doesn't have access to the... I forget the name of the spell, the thing that hits everything around him and just absolutely obliterates infantry, which is great here, because this would hurt us quite a bit. Alrighty, and Grand Shield of Faith is still up, but the Faith's Bastion should be down, so he's down to 50% only a ward save. And on the bright side, we're getting a lot of fighting with our Storm Vermin and Clan Rats. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted from the Moors army, and I really gotta appreciate this. Actual proper battle lines, which we haven't gotten a lot of so far. Obviously, the Eshin army isn't really into this sort of thing, even if they've been forced to a little bit with their triads. And obviously, the Skryre army is really not doing this sort of thing. So, yeah. I suppose our Plague army is a little bit closer to this. Oh, and I like how there's a warrior priest, or is that an arch-elector in there? I think it's an arch-elector. Yeah. I like how there's one of those in the middle of the battle line as well. Also, let's check back on VOLKMAR for a second. We've sent Corpable now to deal with him, and now he's reached his healing cap. He is still healing, but with Corpable smacking him around in combination with the Storm Vermin and the Council Guard, he should hopefully go down. Plus, the Warplog Giselles have been firing on him for like 5 minutes straight. I mean, damn, this guy can tank. Over on this side, let's just check back on what's going on in the wider battle while we're slowed down a little bit. These Clan Rats have just managed to kill the enemy Empire Knights here, who are still rolling down the hill slightly, and have moved out this way to try to tie up any enemy units. This had allowed 3, I believe, units to go past and down the valley as we planned, and are going to go after enemy at range units. As we can see, like, all the enemy range units here are focusing this one single giant down, who's in very, very bad shape already, and we do have to be careful not to lose the poor guy. Too bad we don't have the chaos upgrades that giants get that give them like an extra 40% missile resistance, because that would be just swell. And 40% plus 15%, I think, or something along those lines, based on a Gift of Chaos that you can get. But yeah, this guy just lost like 1500 HP in a single volley. Gonna be dicey for him. We've also continued to summon our menace below, trying to get the enemy's cannons and their mortars gone, although it's been a little bit of a tough time. And while our pile of units have finally reached the edge of the cliff up here, they are being held in place by various knights. Though hopefully, considering this is primarily all halberd-wielding units, the knights should be dealt with relatively quickly. The giant is now trying to get the heck out of there. He's got 299 HP. Getting that Pestilent Breath and the biggest blob of enemies we can find as well, and I believe we are also going to charge as many ranged units as we possibly can. These halberdiers, Storm Vermin, have broken through and hit those Free Company Militia and those crossbows just to prevent them from firing, and we're doing the same here. Vermintide units or Clan Rat units, it doesn't matter. We all have to charge the range to heal or to prevent this giant, rather, from dying. Unfortunately, in this particular battle, it seems like we're not getting too much value out of our death globes. Mostly because as soon as they try to come up to the battle lines or to get close enough to be in range, the enemy archers all started to focus them down, so we had to move them back. They are still alive, and in fact they're getting chased around by that arch-elector back there. And oh, they're looking like they're getting some throws, and there we go. They hit an Empire Knight unit in the back, and finally it looks like VOLKMAR is gonna be toppled from his dais. Ooh. Or War Altar of Sigmar. I keep thinking of the War Altar of Sigmar as the Dais of Destruction, but VOLKMAR wishes, I'm sure. Anyway, let's see. The balance of power is still relatively even, and the enemy's lost about 1,000 troops, and we've lost 8-ish hundred, though I'm not entirely sure what the actual numbers are, because obviously we have Menace below and Vermintide and being counted. Now, that said, the battle is hardly over, and there's still plenty more enemies to kill, but the more ranged units we tie up, the worse it's going to go for the enemy. Also, I like the fact that they have a green color scheme, or at least partially a green color scheme, because we've got a green color scheme as well. Now, these guys are more yellow, but they've got green on them too. And there we go. Well done to the Storm Vermin. Not so well done to the Warp Lightning Cannons, because they can't just seem to kill the enemy Great Cannons. I feel like maybe it should be altered so that the Warp Lightning Cannons' accuracy is better at hitting enemy individual artillery pieces, because they're obviously absolutely atrocious at hitting crew, but at least be able to destroy these things. It seems like that should be one of the things that that's what they're for. But it's okay, our Warplock Jezzails should be able to take care of them. As we can see, our Clan Rats and our Giant have finally broken through, and many of those range units are now running away. The enemy main line is still holding, but hopefully not for too much longer. That Arch-Lector is still galvanizing his troops into continued action here. But the very skies are with us as the Skaven corruption is coloring them, and there's like a smoke or sand thing here. Neat. And there's our Plague Priest, also in the middle of the battle. And I don't remember where Corpable is, but I think he was trying to... yeah, there he is. After killing VOLKMAR and being very happy with himself, though it doesn't seem that he got the kill, was probably the Jezzails, he's going to try to hunt down more units, though in particular, once again, the enemy range. It looks like the balance of power is shifting further in our direction, about 60% our way. There are still heroes and stuff to fight, but now we have more units that are in good positions. All those enemy range units are running off. The units that were up on the hill have moved past the knights as best they can. In fact, they're trying to ignore the knights now, and are hitting the enemy line in the back and getting all of those artillery pieces. Finally. No more mortars firing on us, damn it. Single Giant working on some halberdiers back here. Gonna have to be careful with him. Oh, and speaking of giants, it looks like this one did manage to survive with 299 HP. He didn't rout. He was apparently willing to fight to the death, which was kind of surprising. But we were able to walk him out of the battlefield. I guess it was really critical to silence those guns and those archers and crossbows and whatnot. And there we go with that. Suddenly, though it was just, or it seemed to just be about 40-60 in terms of the balance of power, and the entire enemy army and decides to chain rout. I suppose enough of their army losses counted, and the last remaining units were no longer willing to fight. I'm curious to see how many kills the Death Globes got. I mean, they're getting extra ones here, but about 100. Pretty low for considering how much they usually get. They pretty routinely get like 15,000 damage or so, and we've definitely seen them go over 20. And I don't mean necessarily the Death Globes, but both the Poison and the Death Globes. But yeah, oh my. And they're just hurting Clan Rats now. And yeah, this one didn't achieve all that much, unfortunately, either. I think perhaps what I should have done with them and maybe send them around up here to help with the Knights or something. But it's certainly a problem with them because they have a much smaller range than a bunch of other units. And as soon as they were able to go into range, the AI did a good job at targeting them, and we had to get them the heck out, or else they would have gotten destroyed very quickly. They are, after all, not particularly resistant to range fires. They have extremely low HP at 3,600. And nonetheless, it looks like we are quite victorious here, and while our losses were not insignificant, they weren't all that horrible either, and most of the damage was done to the Giants, which is exactly what they're for, so they certainly achieved their goals there, as well as the Clan Rats from the garrisons, which we obviously don't care about. One of our Warp Lightning Cannons did get very badly beat up as well, but this one was the one that was being targeted by enemy crossbows, so not super surprising there. Anyway, I'm just gonna chase off anything that we can get. It looks like it's a Pyrrhic victory for us, although it's hard to say whether it was truly Pyrrhic in terms of comparing the damage to the garrison and the non-garrison forces. In fact, let's find out what Corpable took in terms of damage and how viable his army remains, and I guess how viable the enemy army remains, as we will have to give chase. Ooh, what a fight. Damn, that's gotta be one of the best so far in this campaign. I really, really enjoyed that. Volkmar, of course, was an absolute beast and just impossible to bring down. It took ages with both units of Jezzail's firing at him and one of the Warp Lightning Cannons helping out, and the other Warp Lightning Cannon helping out for about half the time. We came very, very close to losing one of our giants here. He is down to... can't even see the sliver of HP. Of course, these are free units, but, you know, Allegiance is still currency in a way, so, yeah. Damn. And not a unit lost, but still. Ooh, the cannons, all those artillery pieces. 10 artillery pieces. That feels like something you as a player would bring to the campaign rather than the AI, but, yeah. Yeah, a little bit disappointed in the clan rats of the Menace below and their relative inability to do well at killing the cannons, but they were protected a decent amount of the time. Now, we are going to heal up here because we do still have to destroy the remnants of these armies, though I suspect that we won't be able to auto-resolve them because of the giant's damage. Let's also see how far they wander away here. Oh, pretty far. Pretty far. Okay, this guy moved away while in march stance. Oh, but we're going to heal up because this is the... this is the hand turn, and we're in our own territory. That's nice. So the giant maybe will not be dead. Bok the Lethal, you want a military alliance? That's great. How about a confederation instead? No dice as yet, but we'll keep an eye on you. He does have a decent amount of territories, and maybe eventually we can get those to join the Under Empire. And they should all serve Skaven Blight, of course. Alrighty, confederation between Itza and Lanopek, ally mission successful for Warherd of the Shadow gave. And there we go. This is why we wanted to fight Volkmar in general. The melee attack and defense trait for the entire army is pretty damn solid. It's basically equivalent to some of the Red Lion trees, essentially, and we do want to try to get the same trait on Scheif. And before destroying the faction for good, as in Volkmar's faction. Speaking of Scheif, you're gonna wander down here. You're gonna have to kill Mr. Rorek Brynbright, and then head down to fight Arcan the Black. And what do we have here? Creator for Morphific, and yeah, we got another Bell Polisher on a Bell Farmer as well. Oh, that's just perfect, isn't it? Though I guess, Ikit's got a plague. Karberg's got a plague. You have the Bell Polisher, but you're gonna keep staying here, and we'll give it to somebody else. So, who can hold these, actually? Let's see. Ancillaries. We really needed that. And the Bell Polisher, I mean. Where are we here? It doesn't say who can specifically equip these? Okay, fine. Let's say one of Ikit's Warlock Engineers. Yes, these guys can't hold them. Alright, so Ikit has double Bell Polishers, and we know that these guys ain't dying anytime soon unless I screw up with Ikit, but yeah, alrighty. And then you don't have a Bell Polisher either, so you can just keep staying here and hopefully getting one. You, Ronan, actually need to be in Skaven Blight, not in Tobaro, because it doesn't have an order building. I'm gonna keep making sure that we get more Bell Polishers. Alrighty, now, moment of truth. Once again, Mutant, did you survive? Yes, indeed you did. Though an army is near you, you look like you're ready to move into Kemperbad, and as long as Ikit can follow you, we're good. Also, let's move Metastone in here to A, keep an eye on things with B, spread his own plague to the vampires. How's our food, but oh, -5. Did we lose 5 food over the end turn despite the fact that we had a battle? Huh, interesting. Okay, yeah, our food situation's not so great right now. And, wow, look at the damage here. Now, we can't go into Kemperbad because this guy would siege it, would he not? Can he actually reach this place to siege it, I guess is the question. Go into regular stance first, and I want to see. Because if he can't reach it, then we're fine. And, no, it doesn't look like he can. Alright, a little bit risky, because a siege would essentially kill this army. We could put it just outside the settlement, just in case. We'll heal up less, won't we? Yeah, fairly considerably so. Alright, in the settlement you go, and just gonna assume that this is not a bug or anything like that, and he in fact cannot reach us, and that there isn't another army that's secretly much closer. Ikit, you're moving here, you're gonna be needed, and while you're in our own territory, you will be healing as well. You can stay in march stance, because frankly, you're not really afraid of anything that the enemy has to bring. Should be some damn fun fights against the... What the heck? What the heck? In the after... Huh. Oh, he must have, He must have run into a An island in the River Reich and just passed by. Okay, interesting. Let's get Sunken Chest. And what do we have here? Trunk of Maps. Well, I suppose the magic item drop chance is okay, but it's not like Ikit needs help in battle. Yeah, I guess there was an item here that or an island rather here that I didn't even notice. Alright, and Ikit does look to be close enough to Kemperbad so that if somebody does try to attack it, yeah, Ikit will be drawn into the battle, so... Though, once again, if they siege it, they could probably kill several of our heroes. We shall see. Alrighty, now, let's continue with what we were doing here. So first of all, you, Mr. Chargelock, head out to this mysterious island, please. Let's see what we're looking at here. Those who escaped. And what do we have here? Portents of Verminous Doom. A duration infinite leadership hex. Okay. That's something. Press gang... Oh, I would have actually preferred money to this. This is kind of meh. Now I want you to land... Huh. You want to go around? You can't land here directly? That's weird. You're supposed to be able to land on ports like this. Maybe this one's broken? That's weird. I do remember a couple Norscan places being broken, so I wouldn't be super surprised. Alrighty, fine. Oh. And we could have done ignore the Skull Island, just jumped over here. I guess we could do that next turn rather than suffering attrition. Although only assuming that we can, in fact, jump. But this doesn't look to be that much of a distance, does it? Because it looks like this is a fair bit of travel. You know what? Yeah, I think we'll do that. Chargelock, go back into Rekka's Point for a turn, and then we'll jump over to Pack Ice Bay afterwards. I hope I'm right about this. I guess if not, we've wasted one extra turn, which is not a big deal at the end of the day. Alrighty, who's up next? Ikit, you're good. Chargelock, you're good. Morphific, you can continue staying here, but... perhaps more importantly... the army that we built to give you a bunch of extra units is now complete, which means... move out. And Morphific, do you need heroes? I mean, I guess the question is, if we do get heroes in this army, what kind of heroes would they be? We could get a Warlock Engineer. Yeah, Warlock Engineer might be okay, I guess. It's not going to be a fully ranged army, though. Though I suppose if we could replace it with... we could replace the Clan Rats with a bunch of Warpfire Throwers. Honestly, there's probably not going to be... Ooh, also I just realized you need to be switched to expansionist planning. We'll take a look at commandments and stuff in a few seconds. Yeah, in terms of heroes, if that army... I'm strong, eh? If that army is going to be primarily using... well, maybe not primarily, but it's going to be using a bunch of Doomflayers, as that's going to be our Doomflayer army. I'm just now wondering, well, then the Warlock Engineers, they don't have Doomflayer mounts, unfortunately. And none of our heroes really have any mounts that would fit there, would they? Although if we do get a bunch of if we replace these with Clan Rats, which is what we're currently doing, replace these with Doom Wheels. Do Warlock Engineers help Doom Wheels in any way, shape, or form? Let's just take a quick look at what they do. Now, where are you? Okay, you. So, you have income from trade tariffs, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's another reason to get more. Ammunition helps Doom Wheels, not Doom Flayers. Missile strength, yeah, this is all stuff that would help Doom Wheels. Range increase, sapper, missile units, yeah, that doesn't really help the Doom Flayers. But who? What kind of hero would help the Doom Flayers? Where are our Doom Flayers, by the way? Chargelock, you have these guys. They do need to still be transferred over as well. I mean, I suppose we could put Doom Wheels in that army instead, but Chargelock's getting the Doom Wheels because Chargelock has the Doom Wheel cost reduction. I'll think about it. Lorelorn, we probably need to move in here to cap it, although our food is still somewhat problematic, so we'll hold off on that for a few seconds, just to see what else we need to do. Mutant, you're good. Cypress, you've moved. Corpable, you need to destroy the remnants of these little armies here. And I guess you could move all the way down to Great Desert of Araby, or we could assume that Al-Haik's going to get attacked, which it is, but this army's probably too weak to take it by itself anyway. We could go through Great Desert of Araby and then up through to Pools of Despair Zandri, back to Al-Haik to destroy this, and then move back in. Maybe something along those lines, just so the Corporal doesn't waste his time. Alright, fine. Attack this. Should be auto-resolvable, even with the hurt giant, I think. Probably could have actually leveled up a little bit. Oh, damn. I didn't actually want this ambush, but oh well. And the reason I didn't want the ambush was because the... let's get the food. The reason I didn't want the ambush was because this army is then not going to get drawn into battle. Fortunately, we can still reach it. Hey, a Talisman of Endurance. Nice pickup, though. Alright, fine, fine. I'm mollified. Now the Talisman of Endurance made that worth it. And auto-resolve this as well. See how much food this gives us. Another 7, not bad. And we will once again... Oh, wow, the poor giant. We will once again enslave. And decent food pickups, because once again we now have food problems. And then, Corpable, you're going to go into channeling stance. And you're going to go here, where we're in our own territory, and we'll heal up. And hopefully we'll be able to hit Pools of Despair next turn. Alright. Good for you, buddy. Enemy killed in battle. I assume you're not... Oh. If they have another stack here, this guy might attack Corpable. Nah, but I'm sure unless it's 2 stacks he can handle it. We've clearly seen that he can. Shife, you're good where you are, though you will have to fight Arcan. Let's see who else needs to move. Ronan, you do not, but we do want to summon another Plague Priest, another disciplined Plague Priest, mind you. In that light... Ah, damn, we'd have to use Metastone. I'm almost tempted to delete him. Wait, what will happen if... No, wait, we can't do that. I was thinking of summoning one of these units, because this guy's gonna disappear next turn, isn't he? Ugh. But we can't do anything save for deleting our plague guy, and I kind of don't want to do that. Especially since we used the scheme to summon him and it cost us money. I guess we'll just hope we get another disciplined one. How useful have you guys found this Pestilent Scheme Plague Priest, man? Just says spreads of plague. It doesn't say how powerful this exact plague is. I mean, I suppose we could always get another one back. Oh, in 30 turns. Alright, fine. We gotta use it at least once just to see how effective it is. Although, I hope it's an attrition-causing plague. Though then again, if we're already here, where do we even put him? Put him all the way back there, only for the plagues to spread and then eventually hit us? Where the heck do we send him, then? I mean, I guess we could send him all the way up here to Kislev and spread some plagues there. Meh. Honestly, it's not seeming super important right now. Let's get to what we're doing with everybody else. Bok, you need to find somebody to assassinate. I guess you're going after this guy here. Marcus Wolfhard again. Please don't fail this time. Come on, you can do it. I somewhat believe in you even after all those Damn it. I'm gonna name you Bok the Failure, man. For those who watched my, for my Boris Ursus Kislev campaign, you may remember Beledna the Failure. Bok may take after Beledna. Alrighty. Seriously, stop failing. Ratmech, you need to find dark fortresses, so up you go. And no, look at Sigvald. He is not gonna like when we start putting stuff in his dark fortresses, as in Undercities. We do have 7 turns until then, though. Though I imagine he probably doesn't like us all that much anyway. Though on the other hand, he doesn't really dislike us. And I do believe that's pretty much everybody. I guess we send Infecticay now to do his thing, as in take Lorelorn. We'll take it to tier 1. And there you go, province secured, taken a tier 1, we will immediately... Ooh, can we build anything nice here? Any special buildings? No, it's not for us. Alright, well then. You're gonna go into exploitative planning, and you're going to not collect income, and we are going to get a little bit of extra growth here. We should be able to upgrade it to next level fairly quick. Then, rather than delete Infecticay, we're gonna keep him for a few turns. I want to trade the Doomflayers from Charge Lock in favor of Warp Wheels. Warp Wheels? Doom Wheels? Warp Flayers? Did I call them Doom Flayers? Damn it. Oh, of course I confused the two. Also, maybe while we're at it, well, we do have some food. We start moving through this. Splitter Prisms will give us double shot ammunition for characters, which will include Ikit. I want to unlock the Warp Fire's wheel. Gyrocogs, rather, Perfect Vigor. I feel like Ikit already has it through Seasoned Campaigner. Double shot ammunition for Doomwheel units, not characters. Bonus Strength for characters, yes. Warp Lightning cooldown for everybody, yes. Favorite spell. Doomwheel Armor, this is regular Doomwheels, this is regular Doomwheels, regular Doomwheels, and regular Doomwheels. So I guess Warpstone alloys then. And we have 11 left, eh? Oh, I should double check the food. Oh, we still got 46. And a free warp field generator. Though it has no warp save. Thing Zapper enables contaminating attacks. Okay. At least we're getting some nice items. Somewhat nice items. Yeah, we could still get a few more uses out of this. I don't wanna hoard the nuke fuel. Especially if we're not building nukes right now, though we should probably build an emergency one. Let's get gyrocogs. How close are we? 1, 2, 3. If we can get 3 more, like the cheapest ones, we could probably do the thing. I mean, I guess we don't use any regular Doom Wheels right now, although we are about to build 2, to be fair. What are we in terms of food? 44%. Dicey. Alright, armor, reload reduction, speed, charge bonus. That one I care about the least. Strider, yes. Alright, Skryre, let's get the double shot ammunition for regular Doom Wheels as well, and let's see what our food is at. We also... Ooh, wait, this gives us the Warp Lightning battery. And that means... more use of this for Ikit. No, we'd have to take away his Scalm. Damn. Do we take away his Scalm? Maybe. I'm tempted. I'm a little bit tempted to take it away. Mostly because he uses the spell frickin' constantly, and the cost reduction, the miscast chance reduction is swell. And while he can certainly make a very good use of Scalm, he does have the second Wind Serum, so it's not super necessary. Though I do like the 5 melee defense it gives him. Very tempting. I mean, we could try it with the Warp Lightning battery and then see. What's his current cost of this? It's 9, eh? So what, it would really be reduced to 7? Alright, I guess we'll find out. Put this on for now, Ikit, and we shall see. Also, what's your magical resistance right now? 57. Very nice. If we were to give him the Lichbone Pennant, he'd get another 25%. Damn. It would be very hard to hurt Ikit with spells, which I kind of like the idea of. And he is currently using... Oh, I guess this is 57 with that? Huh. I thought he had more. Natural... well, whatever. It's still pretty damn good. Alrighty, anything else to do? I don't imagine that we are going to get another battle going, at least this turn. We probably shouldn't end the turn. I guess let's complete our admin here. Or you know what? Just so... that we split it up a little bit. I think I'll call the episode here. We'll do the admin, i.e. building, at the start of next episode. Speaking of next episode, next time, Mutant will heal up, but Ikit will move forward and start attacking the vampire counts, and maybe take a brief detour north to finish off Reichland. I'm not entirely sure about that. Chargelock will begin attacking Kislev and starting to take territories of Norska over so that we could trade it to Throg, hopefully for a military alliance. An alliance because, well, there's a lot of yellow territory here that he's perfectly willing. I'm perfectly willing to let him have. Who cares about that? And then, of course, we will have a quick battle against Rorek here, the rebels, but more likely we'll just auto-resolve that. But afterwards, move Scheif down to the Wizard Calip's palace where he will face off against Arcan, while Corpable continues his very effective fights to go through the territories of the Cult of Sigmar. We just have to make sure that we don't accidentally kill them completely, but they do have 9 settlements, so I imagine that they will be back up and running before they're dead, i.e. Volkmar will, so that we can get his buff for Scheif. So anyway, stay tuned for more fights. The battle in the desert continues, although with the destruction of those armies by the very capable Corpable will make it a lot easier. And I think we will be shortly building another new army, i.e. our Molder army, because I do believe we should have nearly or enough Packmasters available now to get that going. So pretty excited about that. Anyway, stay tuned for more rats. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.